Hi, I'm Maggie Weldon, owner of Maggie's Crochet. I'm very proud to say that maggiescrochet.com is the largest all crochet site online with thousands of crochet patterns and hundreds of them are free. I've been crocheting for over 40 years and I've been designing for over 30. So I'm hoping that through these videos I can help you to master the art of crochet. So pick up your hook and your yarn and let's get started. Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a granny square, and we're going to change colors each round. So to start, I want to show you everything. So okay, we're going to start with a slip stitch. It starts out like a pretzel and you have a slip knot. It's not a slip stitch, it's a slip knot. Okay, I'm going to start over. Okay, in this video, I want to show you how to do a granny square where we change colors each round. And I'm going to start with a slip knot. I'm going to put that on my hook. I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to slip stitch in the 4th chain from hook, which you count out 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to slip stitch in there, and the slip stitches, I just draw the yarn out, and I'm going to hold my finger here so I see so I know where the center of the ring is going to be. And then I draw that through the loop on my hook, and that forms a ring. And while I'm working in the double crochet stitches into the ring, I'm also going to be working over the end on my slip knot, my starting chain. So here I'm going to chain 3. And I'm going to work 2 double crochets into the ring. You may have seen on other videos where I chain 5 and then I get started so that I come around and I join in the corner. But for this, since I know I'm going to be changing colors every round, I can go ahead and start out with a chain 3 and do my block of 3 together here. And that chain 3 is going to count as your first double crochet. So I'm still working over this end, and I'm working into the ring, and I've got 3 double crochets into the ring again. So now I have 6, and there's a chain 2 between each group of 3. Okay, so I'm going to chain 2 right here. And I'll need 3 more doubles into the ring. So I'll have a total of 4 groups of 3. Okay, I'm going to chain 2. And I am going to slip stitch. I'm going to join with a slip stitch to first double crochet. Because in the pattern it'll say chain 3 and then in parentheses it says counts as first double crochet now and throughout. So when you go to join, it's going to refer to that chain 3 as your first double crochet. But what it means is it's going to be the 3rd chain of your beginning chain 3. So you join with a slip stitch right there, and then I'm going to do a chain 1 and I'm going to tighten that, and I'm going to go like this, and then I have my yarn going here behind my finger and I cut in the back there. And that's enough length for me. So I'll go back later and sew the ends in. But that's round 1 of a granny square. So now I'm going to move over to this brown color. I'm going to leave about 5 inches on my starting chain. I'm going to put this. Now, there's 2 ways you can join a new color on here. Typically, they tell you to join with a slip stitch. So you would put your hook in and then pick this up and chain 3 like that. 2, 3, like this. And then that would count as a double crochet, and then you would proceed to do your granny square. Now, the way I like to do it is I put my starting chain on my hook, I yarn over, I insert my hook into the corner space. I have this finger holding this because if you don't hold that, it's going to slip out. It'd be a little frustrating. But this is called joining with a double crochet. So I've got, let me show you that again. I'm holding this starting loop on here. I'm yarning over the hook. I'm still holding that there. I'm going to insert into the corner. I'm going to yarn over the front. And I'm going to draw that loop out. I'm going to yarn over from the back forward like this. And I'm going to draw through 2. And I'm going to draw through 2. Isn't that amazing? So you join with a double crochet. So that keeps you from having to have a chain in the beginning. And you can start out with a double crochet, which is a nicer look. So you can do it either way. You can join with that slip stitch or you can join with a double. I join all my stuff with the stitches like that. I join with a single or I join with a half. And I'll do a separate video on that too. Okay, so I did 2 more doubles in there. I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to finish this corner with 3 more doubles. I'm going to chain 1. Always chain 1 on the sides. I'm going to do 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles. Okay, chain 1 for the side. And 2 for the corner. Chain 1 for the side. I know a lot of crocheters like to just crochet over their ends, but I always go back with a yarn needle and sew my ends in because I like for my ends to stay in. Once they're in, they stay there. Okay, so I've gone around the 4 corners. And on round 2, it's just corners separated by a chain 1 space. And granny squares work up really quick, especially if you do them in 1 color. They're going to be a little more time consuming with 2 colors, with multiple colors, because you're going to have to sew in all these ends. But it's a good way to use up scraps. And I think when you're doing a project with multiple colors, it's a good idea to have the same outside color or the same inside color. I've kind of tried to study them to figure out what looks the best. And if you can get some type of consistency, it seems like they look the prettiest. Like you've seen back in the 60s and 70s, they used to do all the scrap colors, but they had black around the borders of all of them. And they looked very beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to add my 3rd color. I'm going to yarn over my hook, and then I'm going to join with a double. I'm going to go in. I'm holding that first loop there. I'm going to go in there, draw a loop out. I'm going to yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. So I'm going to finish that corner. Granny squares are a great way to use up your scrap yarn. I always do, if I'm trying to find some ideas for granny squares, I do a search and I just put in granny squares and then I look in the images. There's some beautiful stuff that shows up. Okay, so you want to put, there's another video that I've done with a solid granny square where you don't change the colors. So between the two of them, you should be able to master the granny square. And they're so easy once you get the hang of them because you're not working in any of these stitches. You're just working into spaces. And it saves you time not having to locate the stitch that you're going to work into. So you can really work these up fast. So this one is is the first round that has a group on the side. So each round after this will have one additional group on the side. So it increases by 12 double crochet each round, or 4 groups of 3. Okay. You could also think about doing a granny square. You could keep this going as far out as you wanted to, and you'd have this huge, I remember my friend back in Michigan, she did a granny square afghan for a bed, and she used 2 strands of yarn, and she just kept going and going and going until it was wide enough for her queen size bed. It was very heavy, but she loved it. Okay, so right here, I'm going to, now instead of doing a chain here, I'm just going to pull this out. I'm going to clip this in the back. And then I would have that ready to sew my end in there with the needle. But this is the granny square. And I could keep adding colors. I could go solid from here. And the color combinations are endless. The only thing is I've got all these ends to sew in. So that's, and if you sew your ends in as you go, so you don't leave them all to the end, that helps out a little bit. So that's a granny square. And if you have, that's a granny square changing colors. And if you have any suggestions for other videos or comments on the videos, please email videos@maggiescrochet.com. And I want to thank you for watching.